Did Aaron Carter try to warn us before he passed away? As the news of Aaron's tragic death has well and truly made the rounds on social media, many details about his mental health struggles have emerged that appear to look like warning signs. Recently, footage of the late singer talking to his fans on Instagram Live has gone viral. The video showed him displaying signs of alarming behavior, which made a lot of people concerned about his well-being. In the days leading up to his death, Aaron read a message on camera that he claimed was from his ex Melanie Martin. To give you some background, his fans had recently reached out to her, warning her that it looked like Aaron was using substances on camera. In the Instagram Live, he reads a text from her that says, "If it's true what you're doing, you're not going to end up alive. You're going to die. I love you, this is not safe. Please don't do this to yourself." For a lot of people, this footage was extremely unsettling because it was just one of the many warning signs that Aaron needed a real intervention. Clearly his friends, family, even his fans believed that he was in a dark place and desperately needed help, but by that point it was likely too late. In the final video before his death, the singer was bantering with a friend and he brought up his childhood sweetheart Lizzie McGuire. While it's not clear why he mentioned her, he had a smile on his face telling his friend about her and called her Lizzie Magudo. He also shared that for a date they ended up watching Finding Nemo. It was really heartbreaking to see and hear, especially since he tragically passed and Hilary Duff was one of the first to pay tribute to him. Another incident that people have pointed out is something that happened during an Instagram Live on the 20th of September. At that time, Aaron's behavior left fans so concerned that they called the police to his door, all because it appeared as though he was doing illicit substances off camera when his screen suddenly went black. Viewers were convinced they heard spraying and inhaling noises in the background. The singer would later go on to claim that the entire situation was a joke and maintain the idea that it was simply a prank on his viewers and that he was spraying air freshener. Although Aaron could sometimes be heard joking about or downplaying his struggles with addiction, he was also known to speak openly about what he was going through. In 2017, he talked about his time in rehab, saying, "I'll say here right in front of you, I'm not ashamed of it. I have issues. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I never wanted my parents to divorce." His family was beyond dysfunctional. He had made allegations of SA against one of his 3 sisters, Leslie Carter, who also happened to die at the age of 25 in 2012. In a series of tweets, he claimed, "My sister Leslie suffered from bipolar and took lithium to treat it. She never liked the way it made her feel, and when she was off of it, she did things that she never meant to do. I truly believe that." He then went on to make some similar claims against his first 2 backup dancers when he was 8 years old, and his brother Nick Carter. Sadly, in the decade leading up to his own death at the age of 34, Aaron lost multiple immediate family members to various causes, and his struggle with substance misuse worsened in the aftermath. To make matters worse, in 2019, both his siblings Nick and Angel Carter filed for a restraining order against Aaron. Nick released a statement saying, "After careful consideration, my sister Angel and I regret that we were required to seek a restraining order against our brother Aaron today. We were left with no choice but to take every measure possible to protect ourselves and our family." Nick added that he still loved his brother and hoped that he would get the proper treatment he needs before any harm comes to himself or anyone else. Aaron reacted to his brother's announcement that same day, saying, "I haven't seen him in 4 years and I don't intend to. I am astounded at the accusations being made against me, and I do not wish harm to anyone, especially my family." It's true that when you are battling addiction, a lot of the time it can really affect those closest to you. There's no doubt that Nick and Angel had their reasons for requesting a restraining order, but sadly that action also isolated their brother from what could have been 2 of his biggest support systems. Despite the fact that he worked tirelessly and relentlessly as a child pop star, in the long run, early fame and success in the entertainment industry ultimately made his life worse. Realistically, there were about 1 million warning signs that Aaron had been struggling ever since his transition into adulthood. So let's just hope that wherever he is, he's finally at peace. Let's take a look at the celebrities that have paid tribute to Aaron Carter. On Saturday, the singer was tragically found dead at his home in Southern California. He was only 34 years old. Aaron's fiancée Melanie Martin asked for privacy as the family grieves. She said, "We are still in the process of accepting this unfortunate reality. Your thoughts and prayers are greatly appreciated." His sudden passing came as a shock to not only his family, but also to the entertainment world. His older brother, Backstreet Boys singer Nick Carter, posted a tribute on Instagram, saying, "My heart is broken. Even though my brother and I have had a complicated relationship, my love for him has never ever faded. Addiction and mental illness is the real villain here." Nick and Aaron had apparently been estranged for several years. Aaron's twin sister Angel Carter also mourned the loss of her brother and posted an Instagram tribute alongside family photos of the 2 of them as babies and young children. She wrote, "To my twin, I loved you beyond beyond measure. You will be missed dearly, my funny, sweet Aaron. I have so many memories of you and I promise to cherish them. I know you're at peace now. Hilary Duff also expressed her sadness over the late singer's tragic passing. She said, "For Aaron, I'm deeply sorry that life was so hard for you and that you have to struggle in front of the world. You had a charm that was absolutely effervescent. Boy, did my teenage self love you deeply. Sending love to your family at this time, rest easy." Paris Hilton added in her own thoughts on Twitter. She wrote, "Sad to hear about the news of Aaron Carter. He was always kind to my family and I. He had a good heart. Gone way too soon. Sending my thoughts and condolences to his loved ones and family." Pop group NSYNC tweeted, "We are saddened by the news of the sudden passing of Aaron Carter today. Our hearts go out to his family, friends, and fans during this difficult time. Rest in peace, Aaron. Hashtag gone too soon." Grammy award-winning songwriter Diane Warren also gave some words of wisdom, saying, "Fame at a young age is often more a curse than it is a blessing, and surviving it is not easy." Aaron rose to fame at a very young age and quickly became one of the biggest names in the music industry. In fact, he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the youngest singer to have 4 consecutive top 10 singles in the UK. As a kid, he performed as an opening act for Britney Spears as well as his brother's boy band, and recorded several hits including Aaron's Party and I Want Candy. In 1997, his gold-selling debut self-titled album was released, which officially launched him into teen idol status. His music videos were constantly on Disney and Nickelodeon. Aaron also earned acting credits with his appearance on shows like Lizzie McGuire. He starred alongside his brother, Nick, and their siblings, BJ Leslie and Angel, on the unscripted series called House of the Carters. And in 2020, he got engaged to model Melanie Martin, and they welcomed a baby boy named Prince last November. Over the years, Aaron has faced legal troubles as well as struggles with addiction and mental health, for which he sought treatment. Prior to his passing, he was in the midst of a custody battle for his 11-month-old boy, and it seemed like he was really taking steps to get his son back. He claimed to have voluntarily checked himself into rehab, saying, "It's an abstinence program and I work with an individual counselor. I do group therapy, parenting classes, and domestic violence classes. I got myself certified in CPR, just a lot of different things. It's new being a parent, but it's actually become really fun and given me a new chapter of my life." Aaron has also been very open about the fact that he's been diagnosed with schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, and anxiety. What makes his passing even more heartbreaking is that he has clearly been putting in a lot of effort in recent years to turn his life around and doing everything that he could to make sure that he could be a functional and healthy parent for his son Prince. Unfortunately though, Aaron's struggles are all too familiar when it comes to former child stars who've grown up in Hollywood. While the fame and fortune that comes along with being a celebrity seems glamorous, we now know that it's extremely taxing for a child to deal with the pressures of maintaining an image in front of the whole world. Child stars are kids, and like all kids, they need to rebel but they can't, because not only is their job on the line, but they are quickly judged by millions of fans and are punished for not being a positive role model. Not to mention the fact that oftentimes they are only loved when they're young and cute, but when they get older, it's a different story. So let's hope that the industry itself will eventually change for the better. Is Aaron Carter okay? Absolutely not, so let's get into it. The former teen pop star had police at his door last week who gave him a welfare check after his Instagram Live left fans concerned. During an Instagram Live on the 20th of September, it appeared as though Aaron was doing illicit substances off camera when his screen suddenly went black. Fans were convinced they heard spraying and inhaling noises in the background. That's when police received a call on behalf of many viewers who believed that the rapper was going to hurt himself and take too many substances while on social media. Police and the fire department responded to Aaron's home in Lancaster, with sources saying that they tried calling his name and knocking at his door to no avail. But apparently he was sleeping. They were eventually able to make contact with him. They reportedly found no substances at the scene and confirmed that there were no signs of criminal activity, and that the musician had not in fact tried to harm himself. The 34-year-old later claimed that the entire situation was a joke and called himself the Troll Hunter while spraying what appeared to be air freshener. He told TMZ, "I'm tired of people coming after me, so I trolled everybody." But apparently this isn't even the only time that his Instagram followers would call the police on him, and many people believe that his recent behavior online is cause for real alarm. They wouldn't be wrong, because this latest incident comes just days after Aaron announced his plans to sue his on-again off-again girlfriend Melanie Martin for defamation in response to her claims that he broke her ribs, which he adamantly denies. In fact, he's so confident development in his case that he told TMZ reporters that his lawsuit will be like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard 2.0. In March this year, Melanie requested a restraining order against her ex-fiance. In court documents, she alleges that Aaron broke 3 of her ribs during a domestic dispute over medication that took place on February the 21st. She included medical records that indicate at least one of her ribs was broken. She explained that they had gotten into an argument which escalated into violence. Quote, "We had a fight about me talking to another man while we were broken up. He punched me in the left rib and pushed me. I didn't feel the pain until a few days later when I left the house because he threatened to give me a restraining order." She also said that days after the alleged altercation took place, she and her son, Prince Lyric, left their family home without any of her or her son's belongings, so she needed to have Aaron leave the residence before she could come back to collect her things. But due to their erratic dispute, the former couple ended up losing custody of their 1-year-old son, who is now being cared for by his maternal grandmother. While it's true that Aaron has previously been very open about the fact that he has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, and anxiety, he's also insisted that he's been clean for 5 years and is going to meetings for his past addiction. The troubled singer claimed that he had voluntarily checked himself into a month-long outpatient program through Lion Rock Recovery so that he could regain custody of his little boy. In an interview with the US Sun, he said, "It's an abstinence program and I work with an individual counselor. I do group therapy, parenting classes, domestic violence classes. I got myself certified in CPR, just a lot of different things. It's new being a parent, but it's actually become really fun and exciting and given me a new chapter of my life." But sadly, with all that said, it seems like he is still struggling to turn his life around, as not everyone transforms into a different person just by becoming a father. Although it does seem like Aaron has put in effort over the years to make some positive lifestyle changes, he's unfortunately becoming more infamous on the internet than inspiring. Fans remember his bizarre long-time feud with Justin Bieber, which started when he was asked by a fan on Twitter why he hadn't managed to reach the same level of success as Justin, to which he responded by saying, "I've been in this industry before he was born. I've had harder times and always bounced back. No, I'm not Justin Bieber, I'm Aaron Carter. I'm also in construction. I paved the way. These kids have never paid me homage." Or how about the time when he went on Stiuso's Wild Ride podcast last year and tried to make it sound like he and Justin were competitors? With statements like that, it's hard to tell if Aaron is just looking for clout or if he truly believes what he's saying. But a career comeback is the last thing that he needs right now. In fact, at this point, an intervention seems like the best course of action. So let's hope he's able to get the help that he very clearly needs. Number 10, the last video ever posted. The very last video that Aaron took before his passing has since gone viral, with many viewers remarking on how chillingly different he looked and sounded throughout the stream. Appearance-wise, he looked extremely exhausted and defeated as he spoke about his future ambitions. At one point he said, "Just had a great meeting with the TV show that I'm going to be doing." He said, "Your boy's going into TV," and explained that there have been plans to make a show about him that touches on mental health awareness. The singer was bantering with a friend and he brought up his childhood sweetheart Lizzie McGuire, aka Hilary Duff. The comment section was flooded with well wishes. One user remarked on his appearance saying, "Oh my goodness, I can't even recognize him. This breaks my heart. You can tell that he's been through so much. You can see the sadness in his eyes." Another comment read, "To me he just looks so tired here. He tried his best to fight his demons, but you can see that the damage had been done." Number 9, allegations against his siblings. Aaron's family life was beyond dysfunctional, but something that has flown under the radar in recent years is the disturbing allegation that he made against his siblings. In 2019, in a series of tweets, he accused one of his 3 sisters, Leslie Carter, of taking advantage of him from the ages of 10 to 13 when she was off of her medications. He wrote, "My sister Leslie suffered from bipolar and took lithium to treat it. She never liked the way it made her feel when she was off of it, and she did things to me that she never meant to do. I truly believe that." This would have been beyond difficult for Aaron to admit, considering that Leslie passed away at the age of 25 in 2012. He then went on to make some similar claims against his 2 first backup dancers from when he was 8 years old, and his brother Nick Carter. He went on to say, "Now it's Nick's turn to tell the truth of what he did to one of the girls in my family, since my truth is all out there and I hope all survivors find peace and justice." Number 8, moments with his mother. Back in 2019, Aaron and his mother Jane appeared on a reality TV show called Marriage Boot Camp Reality Star Family Edition. The episode shows you the kind of toxic relationship that Aaron had with his stage manager mother. At one point he tells her how exhausting his tour schedule was when he was a kid, and she says, "I don't think it was that much. You weren't a Justin Bieber or anything." So obviously she had no real issue with forcing her sons into show business and making them the breadwinners of the family from from a very young age. Aaron would eventually accuse his mother of negligence, and in 2003, when he was only 16, he fired her as his manager, claiming that she stole more than $100,000 from his bank account. He said every show we did, we would probably make around $40,000 to $50,000 a show, and it was all gone. Even his father, Robert, told ABC News in 2005 the other kids used to call Nick the cash cow, and when Nick grew up, Aaron was the cash cow. Number 7. Melanie's messages. Recently, more footage of the lead singer talking to his fans on Instagram Live has gone viral. The video showed him displaying signs of alarming behavior, which made a lot of people concerned about his well-being. In the days leading up to his passing, Aaron read a message on camera that he claimed was from his ex Melanie Martin. To give you some background, his fans had recently reached out to her, warning her that it looked like Aaron was using substances on camera. In the Instagram Live, he reads a text from her that says, "If it's true what you're doing, you're not going to end up alive. You're going to die. I love you, but this is not safe. Please don't do this to yourself." For a lot of people, this footage was extremely unsettling because it was just one of the many warning signs that Aaron needed a real intervention. Clearly, his friends, family, and even his fans believed that he was in a dark place and desperately needed help, but by that point, it was likely much too late. Number 6. Missed his last rehab session. There were several warning signs that were missed in the days leading up to his tragic passing, but one of the most obvious ones was that he missed a scheduled rehab therapy session the evening before he was found dead. It's been said that his ex-fiancée Melanie was desperately trying to be there for him amid his addiction struggles, and had signed him up for an outpatient rehab treatment in September, and after losing custody of his 11-month-old son Prince, the singer agreed to take part in the rehab program. So when he never showed up, the facility contacted Melanie to let her know about his absence, and she had to let them know the news of his passing. This fact is really heartbreaking because when he spoke about his time in rehab, he said that he was doing group therapy and parenting classes, and that he was doing all of this to try and be a functional and healthy parent for his son. Number 5. Chilling predictions. In 2017, after celebrating his 30th birthday, Aaron confessed that he was surprised to have made it that far and made a chilling prediction about dying young. He told Us Weekly, "I thought I would die by 30. Even when I was 13, 14, I thought, oh my god, I'm going to die. Life was pretty tough. I dealt with a lot of trauma, a lot of loss, a lot of loneliness. I just felt like I needed to get away." At the time of the interview, he had checked himself into rehab for one of what would be multiple times and made some shocking revelations about growing up in the entertainment industry. He said, "I had a different style of upbringing. I wasn't able to go to school, have normal friends. I wasn't allowed to have friends over. They had to sign waivers that said if they'd killed themselves, we weren't responsible. I was lonely even though I was performing for millions of people." So despite the fact that he worked tirelessly and relentlessly as a child pop star, in the long run, early fame and success in the entertainment industry ultimately made his life a whole lot worse. Number 4. The Instagram Live. During an Instagram Live on the 20th of September, it appeared as though Aaron was doing illicit substances off camera when his screen suddenly went black. Fans were convinced that they heard spraying and inhaling noises in the background. That's when police received a call on behalf of many viewers who believed that the rapper was going to hurt himself and take too many substances while on social media. Police and the fire department were eventually able to make contact with him, but he later claimed that the entire situation was a joke and claimed that he was only spraying air freshener. He told TMZ, "I'm tired of people coming after me, so I trolled everybody." Although Aaron could sometimes be heard joking about or downplaying his struggles with addiction, doing something like this on Instagram Live made it seem like he almost wanted someone to check in on him. When you look back at moments like these, it just reads as a cry for help. Number 3. The restraining orders. Sadly, in the decade leading up to his death at the age of 34, Aaron had lost what could have been his biggest support systems with his immediate family. He lost his older sister Leslie in 2012, and then only a few years later his father Robert, who died from a heart attack in 2017. But Aaron's struggle with addiction reportedly worsened in 2019 when both of his siblings, Nick and Angel Carter, filed for a restraining order against him. They said, "We were left with no choice but to take every measure possible to protect ourselves and our family." Nick added that he hoped he would get the proper treatment he needs before any harm comes to himself or anyone else. Aaron reacted to his brother's announcement that same day, saying, "I haven't seen him in 4 years, and I don't intend to. I'm astounded at the accusations being made against me, and I do not wish to harm anyone, especially my family." Although there's no doubt that they had their reasons, the restraining order that Aaron's siblings filed against him would have isolated him further from anyone who was really able to care for him. Number 2. Lou Pearlman allegations. Nick and Aaron Carter grew up in in poverty in Florida before they were plucked from obscurity by the notorious manager/scammer Lou Pearlman. There were long-standing allegations against Pearlman while he was alive, mostly that he stole earnings from his talent, but even worse, that he physically took advantage of them. Aaron was the youngest of Pearlman's pop creations by far, and at 14 years old, he ended up suing him in 2002 for stealing his money. But throughout the rest of his life, he still seemed to have so much love and respect for his disgraced former manager. In many ways, he was the originator of Aaron's suffering. Yes, he brought him money and fame, which lifted his family out of poverty, but he was also manipulative and stole from his clients and eventually died in prison. But a lot of people questioned why Aaron, unlike his brother, continued to defend him until the end. He said, "Lou gave us all the ability to have lives today. Who knows where I could have ended up, man? In jail?" He was only 6 years old when Pearlman took him on as a client, so it sadly makes sense that he was never able to fully break free from his manipulation. And coming in at number 1, the recent police incident. Only 3 days before his tragic death, Radar reported that Aaron had been pulled over by police on suspicions of driving under the influence. His RV was stopped in Antelope Valley after it was reported that a vehicle had been weaving in and out of traffic near the area. But interestingly enough, although officers on the scene conducted a sobriety test, they found that he was not drunk or under the influence of illicit substances at that time. Later that day, it was reported that his ex Melanie, who'd been driving behind him, was the one to call the police as she was worried that he was intending to crash his car. This was certainly a bizarre incident considering that Aaron was completely sober. Regardless of the reason that Melanie called the police, it was concerning that she felt that she had to do that in the first place.